Hey, good morning, BBC family. We're so glad that you're here, that you came to worship with us this morning. We are really thrilled about what God is doing in terms of our new idea that we think is really biblical about faith at home. And so we have Jerid here, who is our family pastor that we just love and are so excited that he's here. And I just wanted to have a real quick conversation with him. And so when you think about where we're going with faith at home, some of the struggles are how busy our families are, and it just seems to be consuming us. And so how do we make Sunday, it seems like it's lost its sacredness, the day. And so what are some thoughts on how we can change that mindset?
Well, one of the things that was shared with me and that we have heard from multiple people throughout the body is that Sunday it seems like if there's a day that we are still willing to deem like sacred and something that we will commit to, it's Sunday. So our desire as we look at how we can build faith at home is we want to do everything in our ability as leadership and as a church to maximize Sunday mornings, because that seems to be the one day that we are still willing, somewhat to hold on to, as far as our relationship and our walk with God.
So what do you mean maximize Sunday?
So, and you actually were kind of involved in this vision, and it was really kind of cool how the Spirit just kind of brought to us and brought in front of us this idea of making Sunday matter again, making Sunday important to our walk with Christ. And one of those things that we really, really felt led to do as we look at building faith at home is really putting an emphasis on our time during the Sunday school hour and, making it something that is not just that extra thing that you got to try and drag yourself out of bed an extra hour early for, but to really commit to that, both us as the body, but also us as leadership, of making it important and making it matter to maximize our time with our body, with our congregation.
So what can we expect when we think about maximizing that or emphasizing that? What does that really look like on a Sunday morning?
Yeah, well, one of the first things that you're going to see is we're no longer gonna refer to it as Sunday school. Which is a big shift, and you'll probably still hear me struggling shifting from from that title. But what we decided to call, that hour is foundations, and it's just that idea of, building on the foundation of the truth, and how that truth relates to our walk with Christ, and really making that a focus. For us as adults, and also for our students and our children as well.
Yeah. When I heard that phrase or that word, foundation, I got excited about it. I love that word because it really does. When you talk about what we build on, Paul talks about it. Jesus talks this parable of the wise and foolish builders, and what you build on matters. And so I love that thought about foundations. And so talk a little bit more about what that faith at home and all that really looks like.
Yeah. So what's interesting is we wanted to change that name from Sunday School to Foundations. But there's not a lot of actual change as far as what's going to be offered or available. What we really want to do is we want to encourage our body to engage in those opportunities, because that's where we grow with peers and with each other, so that we can then take that home, and then we can then build that faith at home through that. And we're actually going to, it's not really just about Sunday morning, but what we're going to do is we want to offer opportunities to support and kind of enhance those experiences beyond Sunday morning. But it's kind of hard to enhance what we hear and experience on Sunday morning if you don't experience it on Sunday morning as well. We're looking at some things like we're going to call it a midweek meddling, where we we kind of just come back, and maybe it's through Facebook or something, where we just kind of bring back what we talked about on Sunday morning through worship, our worship service, through Sunday school, which is now Foundations,
Right.
and saying let's draw back, let's come back to what we talked about, and where is that meeting you right now during the week, and I also continue to offer resources, as well to support, because I know one of the biggest challenges when we talk about building your faith at home is we feel like we don't feel like we're capable. We feel like we're ill-equipped, and the reality is, God gave us family. When He gives you a family, He's saying, "I am equipping you. I will equip you to do that." So that's our desire as we move forward.
But it has to be talked about beyond what we're talking about on Sunday morning, and yet if you're not involved in that, it's like, I think I said this earlier to you, that I can make this great meal, this wonderful feast that has all the nutrients and can be very appetizing, but if you leave it there, it does you no good. And so kind of what we're cooking for you on Sunday mornings matters, so that you can then dialogue about that throughout the week. And so when you talk about taking it home, or what that day means, is there anything else that we're going to do to provide, or to maybe play into the busyness of it all?
Absolutely. And I would say, I've had the blessing of interacting with our Foundations teachers. I'm going to get used to saying
Good
that.
job.
I promise. They like that. And they are so excited to, the curriculum that we're looking into and that we're going to use during that time. They are so excited about the opportunity, not just to pour in during that time, but they're excited about the opportunities that it's going to present for it going home as well. And, it's another thing that we've decided that we feel is really important and good is to, we're doing kind of what we call a Sunday nothing, and Sunday evening nothing. And so what we've decided to do is, it's been relayed multiple times to us from the body that, Sunday evenings are that's the only time where we have a chance to spend time together as a family. And I think most of us can attest to that. I mean, it's the one day that we'll hold as a day of rest if we're going to. So what we want to do is we want to pull back as far as a time slot where something else is going on here at the church. We want Sunday evenings to be what's going on with your church at home, your family church. Opportunities to engage in what you talked about today, opportunities to discuss about, what did I learn in Foundations, or what did Pastor Todd talk about, or maybe it's, watching a movie together and then saying, what did you get from that movie, and we have, recipe cards that we've created. And I think that's a great time. Sunday evenings, it's almost like that lost hidden opportunity time that we don't see to, we've committed this time to family. We've said no to everything else. What a great time to engage in some of those opportunities. And, I think having nothing on Sunday evenings as a church, as in the physical building, and opening that opportunity for experiences and time and faith at home, I think that's one of the biggest opportunities that we offer, along with the resources to help do that as well.
Yeah, it doesn't mean do nothing.
Right.
It just means do something in your home to reinforce what's been said.
Yeah, we're not we don't want you to commit to anything physically here at the church. We want you to commit to your church at home. It's a church of churches is what I like to call this. Well,
I appreciate that, and thanks. And we'll be talking more about it. There's a lot of this that needs to be fleshed out, and maybe this is confusing to you, but in the coming weeks you'll see, and we believe it's going to really begin to make sense, and it's going to be effective in discipling your whole family.
Amen.
And so we're excited about it. So thanks for taking a minute and listening to this.